how we pray, definitely. Number one, I want to thank you firstly to invite me here, because you know this is my church and I love to give our youth here. And when I go any church to give youth, I always proud with our youth. We have a very good youth quality in our church, honest. And if we say this, that's definitely for the father of the church is working hard and the servant. Sometimes the meeting go up and down. Maybe we need to sit and think. Why? Maybe we need more activity, maybe more visitation. That's right. I was remember one of the meeting, Macquarie Field. I was starting with them, it was very small. Now their meeting is starting getting bigger and bigger. They have a big activity after the meeting. They have one of the containers. They have it full of activity, and after they finish, they have food, they have to drink, they have full of activity. And actually it's attracting a lot of people. Maybe we can do survey, we can do something like this and to see our meeting like before, or maybe we do combined meeting one time. Encourage our people to come and another people to come. Some of stuff like this may be good idea. Abuna Mashifa is our youth, rest in all youth as well. He got a lot of ideas. Right, Abuna? What we will talk about, actually, we need nowadays the prayer. So when John talked to me, I was two topics in my mind. I was preparing, but actually nowadays we need prayer, not only in our life, in our country, in our homeland, in everywhere. Some type of people, just they spend a lot of time to pray and you find their prayer not even reaching the ceiling. Some people, they pray, you find their prayer straight away go like spear to the heaven. So what we can do, so we make sure our prayer reaches the heaven. Very important. Saint John Chrysostom, he say in his saying, if you tell me someone he not pray, he found nothing good in his life. If someone not pray, he found nothing good in his life. Why? He said because the goodness we take from God, as long as you have very good communication and relationship between you and the God, you be good, because you take from him. Another thing they said, if you only pray, when you pray, you not pray. Again, if you only pray, when you pray, you not pray. What does this mean? So if you pray in the morning and afternoon and night and you think you pray, he said that's not prayer. Prayer, exactly, you need to communicate all day. What does this mean? Before you leave your home, sign the cross. God protect my family and my home. Before you drive, in the way to work, you need to pray. Before you start your work, you need to pray. After you finish, thank God for my day went for peace. What was the very good example of this? Abuna Mikhail Ibrahim, he was a confession father of His Holiness Papa Shenouda. Amba Bimin, the late Amba Bimin, who was a bishop of Malawi, he said he was consecrated deacon. He said one night he told me, come my son, tomorrow we have a mass together. Early, I want you to come with me. So he went to sleep in his home. He said I was sleeping in the bed. I found by 5 o'clock he was sitting in his bed. So I woke up at 5:30, 6 o'clock. I found him waiting for me. And tell me, son, did you wake up? I told him, yes, Abuna. He said, come, we'll pray. He said, we stand to pray. We changed, we wear our clothes. We were going to give the mass. So we finish from the home, we come, before we leave the flat, he said he has to stand outside and stand the cross and pray. He come down on the building, he stand outside and pray. And it was about 6:30 in the morning, he told Abuna, did you book any taxi? He said, son, he look after us. It was a very small area, and before they leave, they found taxi come, he stopped him and took to the church. He said from the first step to go to church, he was talking to each preacher, stand in front of them and pray. and pray. He said, like priest, first time in his life doing Mass. He said, after we finish the Mass, we finish and we come back home. Someone, he got sugar cane shop in the street. And the man, he's Christian, tell him, Abuna, can you pray for me? Abuna, found any excuse to pray. He come to the man. He pray for the sugar cane. He pray for the man. He pray for his tools, for everything. God bless. These people, because they know the power of prayer, they never stop praying. All day communication. When His Holiness looking for someone to be his confession father, Bab Shinoda, how high spiritual level. And imagine to choose someone, he be his confession father, he choose the one he know how to pray. So the prayer is very important in our life, communication. I remember a teacher in the school, he's a Christian person. After he writes on the board, he doesn't want to, in Egypt, they're respecting the teacher, not like here. So what's happening? Everyone wants to take, to clean the board. He said, no, I clean it myself. He cleaned it very slow, up and down. Why he take all the time? Because when he clean it, he prays. Another doctor, I remember him before he write any prescription, he take his time. And people, they think, he's thinking about what type of medication he write now. He pray, God guide him for which medication suits this person. These people, they practice the prayer and they know how important the prayer. We talk about 5 points. How our prayer to be accepted in front of God. Number 1, when you pray, you have to have a faith and trust. Number 2, the prayer must be from your heart. Number 3, you need, when you talk to your Father, you need to choose a simple word. Number 4, you tell him, God, as you will. Number 5, you need to have a system in your prayer. What system? You have right time for every time. Use your Agpeya. You know what you pray, and you do this with your confession fast. Number 1, when you pray, you need to have trust and faith. You're in front of God, and God, He hear you, and God accepts your prayer. But when God can work, that's in His time, not your time. So when we look to the picture, actually that's not picture. This saint, He hear you. When you put the picture of Jesus Christ in front of you, He hearing everything you say. And you have trust. The time I just pray to Him, He accepts my prayer. If He can work or not work, that's His will and what He wants to do. We have 2 young priests just ordained in one of the monastery. And a very old monk sit with them. They told him, Father, he's about 70, 75 years. When did you decide to be a monk? He said, when I was 6 years old. So they looked to each other, said, 6 years old? You're not even in primary school. How did you decide to be a monk in 6 years old? He told them, I tell you a story, and this story, it is changing my mind to make me concentrate to be a monk. He said in 1930, in Egypt in that time we have famine. There is no wheat that means no bread, and no rice. And in Egypt the main 2 foods they eat, wheat and rice. He said my mom at home, she baked some bread, and we found our neighbor, she come ask us for any flour to cook anything or to do anything for her kids. My dad, he told her, listen, we have nothing, but we have little bit of flour, I give it to you. So he gave it to her, and after my mom, she came, she said, what this lady want? He told her, listen, I give her this. She told him, that's the flour we have, you give it to her. We will have. He said, at least we have food for today. These people have no food for today. And that's what God teach us. If someone asks you, give you. He said, the day passed, and we end of the day, next day come, and we have no bread at home, and the mama started to tell my dad, listen, now we have no flour. Remember, if you didn't give the lady, we should have some food for today. He said, don't worry. She said, all right, show me what you can do now. He said, my dad, he took us, we was 2, 3 young children, and in front of picture of Jesus, he took this bag of flour and tell him, listen, God, it's empty now. We have nothing. But I am sure you hear me, and I am sure you can do something. And he sit down. My mom, she told him, what did you do? He said, I pray. She told him, I thought you can go to the market to try to buy something or flour. That's all what you done? He said, I am sure God hear me. This monkey said by night, we found someone knocking the door with raining, in village olden days when raining a lot of mud. Someone, he knocked the door and told him, can you have anyone to help us? I got a small chariot or carrot carrying some shopping for the pasha. I got big land. We have to push it to get it out of this, hole because the raining, the food cannot get off. So he said, me and dad will start helping, and little kids will push, and the man left. And we sleep, and no food at all in our home. He said, next day, 7 o'clock, we found this man knocking the door. And my dad opened the door, and we found this man, he bringing a big bag of flour, about 50 kilos. He said, by the time I went to this owner of the land, I asked him, we bring everything. He said, what happened when you left? He said, we stuck on the mud, but there is someone helping us to push this one away from the mud, so that's why I'm late. So he asked him, did you give him anything? He said, no. He said, this man, he helped you, go give him this type of flour. He said, all our village was empty of any food, and the only people have flour was our home. And since this time when I saw my dad, he prayed, and God accepted his prayer, I decided straight away to be a monk. So very important when you pray, you need to concentrate, you need to have a faith and the trust that God hear me and He can work. Number one, God to accept our prayer must be with faith and trust. Number two, when you pray, you need a pure heart. Heart not full of jealousy. Heart not full of feelings. Heart full of love. You pray for people. You pray for family. Not because someone has done something against you or stab your back. You be very happy if something happened to him. God, He loves everyone. Whatever from any generation, whatever from any religion, whatever from any country, still God loves everyone. One lady, she went to Abuna, she told him, Abuna, this one bound. I want you to say, our Father who art in heaven, opposite way. When you say, our Father who art in heaven, she think, instead of this man, he got blessing, he got curse. So Abuna, he told her, what you talking about? Do you think if you pay me money and I pray to God against anyone, God will listen and punish him? No, I can't do this. So some people actually, they think they pray because someone upset them, or they pray because they want to get revenge for someone and God will accept his prayer. No, God not like this. God, He wants you, when you pray from pure heart so He can accept and listen to your prayer. This story happened in Russia. Guys, can we put our phone in our pockets? We are in the church, we need to respect the church, please. If anyone uses the phone, put it in your pocket. This story happened in Russia. Russia Orthodox, they have a lot of persecution like the Copt in Egypt. And during the time there was communists, anyone who believed in Christianity, they kill him. Even the Bible, to have a Bible, it's very hard on Russia on that time. So in one small area was one priest and his wife and his daughter. One of the soldiers living in the same street come and call the priest, and after he called him, the priest disappeared. So he killed him, he gone. So the wife of the priest, she took her daughter and told her, listen, if this man come and took me, I want you to give him this white flower, because this man, he will help me to go to God and to go to see your dad. So after a couple of days, this soldier come and they call for the wife, and she disappeared. After 1 or 2 days, he found this little daughter, 5 years old, knocking his door, and she got white flower in her hand. He told her, what's happening? She said, my mom told me, I have to give you this one because you help dad to go to Jesus Christ, and he helped mom to go to Jesus Christ and to go to my dad. And she told me, this man, he's a good man, and I have to give you presents. This is the soldier, the killer. This one, he whipped and took the girl, he hugged her, and grew her as his daughter, and after the communists finished, he converted to be Christian. So to think to pray, and you have any hate in your heart, it's not going to work. That's why people pray and God not listen. God in book of Isaiah said, these people glorify me with their lips, but their heart is far away from me. So number 1, to pray with trust and faith. Number 2, pray with pure heart. Number 3, simple words. God, he doesn't want you to stand in front of him and give him lecture. God, he hears from simple people, maybe he hears more quicker than solution people. God, the best thing he wanted from us, like a child that talk to his dad. When you talk to your dad, you tell him, sir, excuse me, I have to do this and this, and you stand up. No, you talk to your dad. God, he wants to talk to him like a children to the dad. That's why he said, when you call me to say, our Father, it's very important. He wants us like his children. And he be very happy when we talk to him. He needs a simple word. Talk to him. Like you talk to your friends. Talk to him like you want him. He's your dad. Like even to very close to him. That's what God wants from us. This is a story in Antioch. You know, in the law of their monastery, any monk he go inside, he has to learn the 150 Psalm by heart. 150 Psalm by heart. That's like us, if you go to the monastery, when the monk who go around, he give you first words in the Psalm bank, the monks, you know, because that's their work, everything. So one of the monks, he ordained new, and the head of the monastery, he loved him. He's very spiritual, peaceful man. He's not looking for any position or anything. He's very peaceful one. But you know, sometimes people get jealous. So one of the monkeys sit next to him when they pray. He found him only know one psalm, and he starts repeat and repeat and repeat. So he went to the head of the monastery and told him, this monk, he doesn't know the 150th psalm. Why you ordinate him? Did you ask him? He said, no. But I found him very spiritual. We train him, we try him. He said, he was very good, and we never have problem. He's been with us for 5 years. He said, no, but you can't do this. So the head of the monastery get worried and call him. He said, Father, did you know the 150 Psalm? He said, no. He said, what you do when we repeat the 150? He said, I repeat my Psalm, and I be happy, and I enjoy it. He said, what about I give you a time to learn? He said, I tried my best and didn't learn. He said, Father, listen, I can give you a chance, but if I broke the law or the system of the monastery, I have to break it again, and I can't. If you not know this one, I cannot keep you. The monk, the simple one, started to cry, please leave me, I'm very happy here. He said, I can't. If I allowed you to break the law, I have to allow someone, I can't stop you. The monk cried, the head of the monastery said, we can't. So in the end, this monkey told him, Father, all right, this is small cell, I was very happy on this cell. Can I take it with me and I go out of the monastery? So the monkeys start to look at each other, they think, you know, he's not mentally. They found him get big rope and they tied up his cell, and they told the cell, come with me to go outside, because these people worry too much about, you know, the 150, I cannot know only one sound. They watching, they found the cell behind him start to walk and walk and walk until he went out of the monastery. They come and bow down to him and tell him, please come back. He said, no, I'm very happy outside. I know only one son. I leave the monastery for you, the people know 150 sons. What this teaches us, God looked for people with simple heart. People talk to him a very simple people. A very simple people. And the very simple people, maybe they go quicker to heaven than us. Everything we need to use our brain. How come the Holy Communion can be body and the blood of Jesus Christ, if wine and the bread I see them? We start to use our brain, and sometimes we need to use our faith more than the brain. So number one, how can be our prayer accepted? Number one, faith and trust. Number two, that's number three. Number two, pure heart. Number three, simple. To be a prayer with simple. Number four, to be a prayer as God will. What does this mean? I tell him, God, please, I pray for you to give me job, but I want this job. Or God, please, I love this girl, but as you will, but please, I want to choose this girl. So, you think you know more than him. Sometimes actually we tell God what we want you to do for us. You're not working like this. You need to learn to live your life in his hands. Because we trust in our life in his hands better than our way of life or our plan of life. David the king, when they told him, explain yourself, David, he told them one word. I am a prayer. That's all. Remember the song, the hymns we said now? I want to pray as David prayed. He's the head of army. He's a king. He's a father. He got a lot of kids. All this responsibility, but he always prayed. He said, even mid of the night, I wake up to pray. I am a prayer. And before he do anything, he prayed. Learn to pray before you do anything and tell him, God, as you will. Maybe I applied for this job. I didn't take. God, if this is good for me, give it to me. I did my best. Always remember, I do my best. God do the rest. That's it. You did your interview, you study hard, you go do your best. What happened after this, leave in God's hands. But don't tell him what he has to do. Because he don't like this. Even to your parents, you can't tell your dad what he has to do. Imagine you tell God, God, I want this job. Maybe not good for you. Maybe you see it's good, but you work with some people, give you a hard time, make your life hell. Even the money, even this, wait a little bit. Give him the chance to find something better for you, to fit your spiritual life, and to fit what you know. So when you go to the job, you be successful. How many times we apply for a job, we not take, and God give us something better? How many times we think what we plan is better for us, and after this finish, we found something was better from God than what we asked. And you will learn this more and the more and the more in your life, until you found the good job, because that's from God's hands. From God's hands. Honest. A lot of people, they go to propose to girl or something, and they think they all use their emotion, use their brain, all the stuff, and in the end not successful. Because they didn't pray and give God time, and they give themselves time and tell him, God, I need a wife from your hands, or a husband from your hands. Very important when we pray, we tell him, God, as your will, not my will, your will. If you learn this one, you'll be very successful. Because he gives him more chance to look after you. Or you tell him, God, please, I want this car. I like this car. Maybe not good for you, maybe something better for you. Someone, he loves motorcycle, and he try hard. And he pray hard. And God didn't give it to him. Did God listen or not listen? Did God hear or hear? He hear. But maybe if I give you this one, you can have an accident. That's why I doesn't want to give it to you. They tell exactly like father and his son. His son loved mango, and they went to farm of the mango. The son, first mango he saw, he jumped up and down. I want this, dad. I want this, dad. His dad, look, this mango very green. It's not cooked. If I give it to you, you can get sick. You don't understand. But the father looked far away. He found a nice mango out there, cooked, looks nice, and he held his son from here to there. The son jumped up and down. But do you think he can give his son the green one? Because he loves him. He doesn't want him to get sick. But the way from here to there is the way God takes the time until He chooses the best one for us. So when we take it, we're not going to get sick. In Egypt, when someone finishes medicine, before he finishes, they have to do interview with him, with the professor of the subject. So you know, if your name is John or Matthew or Tony or whatever, you're not going to pass your interview easy. You need a miracle. So this guy, first year he fell in this subject because the doctor, he doesn't want to mention name, you know, any John, any Peter, any this name file. So his mom was a spiritual person. He told her, Mom, please, I want you to pray for me tomorrow. I have interview with this again, the same professor. She said, come son, we'll pray. And she started to pray. She told him, God, please, my son, he do his test with the same doctor, the one he failed him. He gets very upset after she, Mom, I told you pray. I doesn't want to have my test with this PhD because this man is, persecute me because my name. She said, why I did this? Because if you want in any another doctor and he pass you, you think you're good and too smart, that's why you pass with your intelligence. But if you want to the same one and ask God for help and you pass, you know the help we got from God's hand. And actually he went the next day and done the interview with the same one, but this time he passed. First thing he done, he was thank God. Why? Because this one not from him. God, he let him pass. So exactly they do. Sometimes we have a temptation. We pray, God, why I have this disease, sickness? Maybe he wants to teach you to be patient. Maybe he wants to teach you to be closer to him. Some people, they ask, why you give me this wife? Or why you give me this kids? Or why you give me this or that? God, his will and what he sees ahead, different than us. Different than us. All our life here is temporary. If Saint George, he was complaining, why God persecute me for 7 years, punishment and persecution, he's not going to come to the stage. Mostly of the church, mostly of people, maybe every home, we have picture of Saint George. But what we have that suffer now, it's just temporary. But the glory we have after this one, it's eternal. And maybe he looked to us now, he did this 7 years, now it's nothing compared to what I am now. Very important as God will. So number one again, must be with faith and trust. I want to hear you guys. Faith and trust. Number two, I can't hear. Michael, what's number two? Okay, did you hear him? But I am far away. I need to hear. From what? Good man. Number three, Chantel? Because he was talking. Anastasia, number three, simple prayer. Number four, copy. Tell her, Anastasia. Number four, Rebecca, because mobile 4. Number 4, Robbie. John. Our prayer to be as God's will. Be sure you concentrate because I will ask you. So number 1, faith and trust. Number 2, pure heart. Number 3, number 4, as God will. John, who will stand outside the door, no one can go home until he says his 5 points. So number 1, which story? Which story I said in number 1? Faith and trust. Andrew, which story was first one? You need fish oil, you know. Okay, so first story was about the flower. Second story was about The white roses for the girl. Number 3 story was about simple monkey took his tail outside. Number 4 was about which one? Mango the doctor. Yeah, mango the doctor. Last one, you have to have a system with your prayer, and this from with you and your confession father. Very important, you and your confession father. Tell him, Father, I want to pray. He will start with you step by step. Your Agpeya, very important. Your Agpeya, very important. Because what happened, when you know I have to pray morning, and I use my Agpeya. When you use the Agpeya to our Father, you say the creed, you say the psalm, you read the Bible, and back again, Kyrie Psalm 41, it's a lot, it's full, prayerful. But sometimes the devil tricks someone. Why you have to use this? If I talk to God directly, I will say better. First time yes, second time yes, third time yes, fourth time you found you not use Agpeya and you not pray. You end with our Father and that's it. Now, that's why the church good system. One of the Russian Orthodox monk, he wants to practice in his life the verse that say pray all the time. And he writes book, it's called something in Russian church is Philokalia. What this means, pray all the time. He started to went from city to city to ask everyone how I pray all the time. Until he learned that, the spear prayer, Lord have mercy upon me, Lord have mercy upon me, Lord forgive my sin, all this one. Until he started to pray this one with heartbeat. So when heartbeat, he was praying even when he was sleeping. He was doing for even 4,000, 5,000 a day, until his body and until he was praying all the time. It's a very nice story about one of the Russian church monk, and the book is they call it Philokalia, the prayer, tradition of the prayer. So that the people do. They have a system in their life. Whatever happens, I have to pray morning prayer, I will do. Even I get late, next day I will wake up a little bit early to do my prayer. And to do my prayer with concentration. Switch off your phone, close your door, concentrate, no noise, no interruption. That's why your prayer be accepted. That's why God can listen. But someone he pray and start, do his arm like this and do like this, lean on the wall, do all the stuff, not prayer. Even to ask the angel, did you hear anything? He tell you, I didn't get anything, I can't send anything to upstairs. Very embarrassed for me. Okay, very important. You pray with concentration. Pray like you talk to someone in front of you, because he hears and he listens and he be happy from your prayer. One guy, his name John, not you John, he was about 7 years old, but I choose John, so I remember the story, John. Okay? He told his grandmother, I want to learn how to pray. She told him, what you need to do? Exactly is speak to Jesus like you speak to your friends. You know the picture of Jesus? He said, yes. She said, you like him? He said, I love him, yes, his picture nice. But if I talk to him, he can hear me. She told him, listen, there's too many people talk to him. One day he will hear you. So this boy started every day morning, smile to the picture and tell him, good morning, Jesus. Next day, good morning, Jesus. And he got home one day, what happened to the picture? She will answer him. He grew up, he's in the uni, his family went for trip. And he didn't go with them, he had something to do in the uni, so he didn't go. He wake up on the phone from the hospital, they tell him, unfortunately your dad and your two brother and mom have accident and all pass away. So he wake up shocked, and he tried to wear his clothes with tears, and he looked to the picture and said, listen, today I can't smile to you, I can tell you good morning Jesus, but how I can live now without my parents? I full independent. All my family gone. What you want me to do? How can I live? He found himself start to talk to him and talk to him, and this was actually the prayer. And before he finished and leave home, he found a phone ring again, and he tell him, You the one, John, this. He said, yes. He said, something strange happened. When we was taking their body to the hospital, we found someone stop us with white coat. He tell us he's your friend. And we saw him in the mirror, he was breathing in their face. But the time we reached the hospital, they found the 4 people wake up. And he left a strange message with us. He said, good morning, John. So one day, after all this time, God accepted his prayer. He said, that's a very strange message. We never hear something message like this. But because we sure 100% these 4 people was dead, that's why we didn't see what he done, but in the mirror we saw him breathing in their face. So very important. A lot of people, they can pray from here to tomorrow, the prayer not even come to the ceiling. But some people pray like spear because they know how to talk to God. They have a very good relationship with him all the time. All the time. So number 1. Number 2. Your heart. Number 3. Number 4. As God wills. Number 5. We have system in life. We cannot skip prayer. Glory be to God forever and ever. Amen. And please pray for me. Next time, please make sure you wake up.